probably 2 on the road most of the time, the 2 in the magazine there. And every second year, I don't know whether I've explained to everybody, every second year they have, I think the Austin 7 and one of the other Austin clubs have a turn in putting on Austins around Australia. So that particular one was in Bendigo and Victoria, Easter before last. Next Easter will be in Tasmania, which is across the water. It's 9 hours on a boat across the Tasman. The next stop down is the South Pole, so it's pretty good. It'll be at Easter. I think the weather will be reasonable. And but I was just saying to people, there's 200 Austins arriving on a boat in this little town, the country town, which is about that big, Tasmania, and there'll be 400 people in those cars. So they're at Easter, so I think they might get a bit late, they might get a bit of a shock. But I think they're used to groups coming over, maybe not that big. But the range of cars is just fantastic, and the first year I went the year before that in 2010, and same sort of cars, and I was saying to the guys earlier, one of the guys, and they drive from all over Australia, from Western Australia, drive across to Nullarbor, some of them trailer them, and a lot of the old cars get trailed. 2 things, there's a guy coming down in Austin 7, in the back country of Goondiwindi, which is up near Moree, on the just inland of coming down the inland road, and a B double went past him and blew him off the road, and the car rolled, destroyed the car, and he ended up in hospital. So he didn't make the meeting. And the last time we came back to this meeting, and we finally got a dual road of all things. These roads over here. I'll talk about that in a moment if you like. We finally got a dual road to Melbourne, which is 600 miles. It's not very far, but we've just hallelujah, well, we need a bit more population that pays their way, I think. But anyway, coming back from this trip, there was Austin 7s and what have you, and this guy was towing his Austin 7 and had a front on the trailer and he couldn't see the car. So coming along, there's a bit of a commotion up, and there's a dual road, there's a bit of a dip in the middle of the road, and here's this Austin 7 on its wheels in the middle of the dip in the road. So everybody's pulled over, It's come off his trailer. And his mates have pulled up and rung him and said, listen, your car's fallen off the car. Oh, bullshit. So he thought he's still out on the car, you see. But how lucky was this guy? This thing, as light as anything, it's come off the trailer at probably 100 kilometres an hour or 60 miles an hour, landed on its wheels, and just rolled off and hit the Armco on the side of the road. And so it's just amazing. The young fella that was driving me behind absolutely dirtied his pants actually to his car. But so it's some quite incredible things. But we have, and I've joined the Central, since I've moved out of Sydney 18 months ago, I've joined the Central Coast Car Club, which is a group of members of all varieties of cars, and from T-model Fords and up to about 64, their latest model ones, So I make myself crap in with the 840s. But they meet on we've got quite honestly better weather. It's the Central Coast, so it's a region like this. We have probably 25 cars turn up, have a meeting on the Friday night. On the Sunday, somebody in the club has to put together a run, so they meet at 9 o'clock, leave at 9:30, we go all the back roads, go somewhere for morning tea, and then they finish morning tea, and you take your own morning tea and your seat and everything, and trip off to some other place locally. It's Central Coast is fairly big, so they'll go to another place, and if it looks like rain, they've got a covered area, have lunch and have a chat, and they go home. So it's quite a good little run. That happens once a month. And the car club in Sydney, we have a thing just about every month that's on, and so it's quite good actually. And we have a lot of in January, the long weekend in January, which is Australia Day of all places, as the Aborigines call it, Invasion Day. But we've been going to the Gnome Convention on the edge of the Blue Mountains, going up the hill there, and you take your own gnome, or gnomes, if you've got more than one, and you get it registered, and they put it in the garden, and there's hundreds and hundreds of gnomes of all varieties. It's an amazing day. It's like a fair day. There's the fire brigade there, and the police service, all sorts of things, but a dog show, and it's quite good. So if you're ever in Australia, and particularly in Sydney, contacts, Terry will be the best contact. I'll be in touch with Terry, and more than welcome to come out. We'll look after you when you come out. Not for too long. I don't mean to stay for long. I've got a big house. But the other thing I find absolutely fascinating here is you can't pull up anywhere and read the bloody maps. Right? There's curb and guttering all over England. I just find it absolutely amazing. So we can pull up anywhere. You know, just read the map, and if you pull up somewhere here, you either get run over by something or it's quite fascinating. So your map here was pretty good until I got everywhere I've gone. I've got a great street directory of the British Isles, UK. It's about that thick. And everywhere I want to go is right in the middle of the
we all believe that.
Anyway, I appreciate everybody's welcome here this afternoon, and I've enjoyed the afternoon. It's been great.